So we've been coming when we're able to, although it's been a little more tricky since my son Kendall was born 4 months ago. It's harder to get out here as much as we'd like. But I'd like to thank Tricia for giving me the opportunity to come up and speak to you guys, talk to you guys a little bit about myself, and a little bit about what it means to me to be a father. So it's Father's Day, and for dads who like golf, there's lots of options for gifts you can get them. You can get them golf clubs, you can get them golf shoes, you can get them golf bags, golf balls, all kinds of different things.
Hold your mic up.
Okay. If can I speak without it? Can y'all hear me? No? Okay. All right.
Not enough. Sorry.
So, for dads who are into building things and into home improvement, there's also lots of options. There's saws and hammers and nails and screws and all kinds of things like that. I do like building things, but I've got a lot of tools. Golf is okay, but what I really get a kick out of is ironing. So if you're a dad...
They're not ironing.
Irony. I-R-O-N-Y. So if you're a dad and a fan of ironing, there's really only one thing to get yourself for Father's Day, and that's what I did on Friday. I got a vasectomy. There's no better way to celebrate the joys of being a father than to say, I'm never going to do this again. But that's not entirely accurate, because I'm a father of 3, so the doing this has already began. It's not going to end anytime soon. And that was real clear when we came home from the hospital with my oldest daughter, Juliet. Usually when you come with a newborn and you see people, so I've got a trimmer, that's why my hand shakes, that's why I didn't want to use the microphone. So when you come with a newborn and people see you, they're going to say one of 2 things. They're going to say, how much did the baby weigh when they were born? Or they're going to be like, so, not getting much sleep, huh? That's the only 2 things most people are going to say. But I had a different experience with my neighbor. She's in her 60s, and when I showed her my new daughter, she said, yeah, I've got a daughter, she's 37. And in the same way that someone would describe a 2-year-old or 3-year-old, she said, yeah, I've got a daughter, she's 37, and that's a really fun age. So I liked hearing that not only the work of being a parent continues long into your children's adulthood, but also the joys. So like I said, I'm a father of 3, and since I've been a father, I've thought a lot about how there's a lot of parallels between my experience with being a father and some people's experience with the religious experience. And I think choosing to try and become a parent is a tremendous, optimistic expression of faith. It's faith that the world you bring this child into is good. It's faith that you'll be a good parent, that society will be good for this child. It's faith that down the road, if you're asked to do a talk at a Unitarian group, you'll be able to. Lots of things that require faith about becoming a father. And I think that to a certain extent, my faith comes from a little bit of naivete. I was lucky to be born into the situation that I was born into. I have a great family. I know that's not everyone's experience. That's one thing I've learned growing up, that not everyone had the same experience growing up that I did. Before I moved to San Antonio, I worked at a psychiatric hospital for children and adolescents. So I've worked with a lot of families who have to deal with children with serious mental illnesses and very severe behavioral problems. So I have seen the other side too. A lot of people from the religious experience have a sense of meaning and purpose, and that's very true of being a parent. When you're a parent, that's not to say that before becoming a parent my life didn't have meaning or purpose, but it really comes very clearly into focus, and that's what is the best way to care for this child. And what care means is not always obvious, and the best way to do that care is not always obvious, but it's nice to have that care for this child as a guiding principle in general. Also, as far as getting my purpose and meaning, I'm a therapist is my job. So I sit and listen to people. So after working 8-9 hours, I've got nothing to show at the end of the day for what I've done. People came into my office and people left my office. So that's why at home I like to build things, but I get even more joy from seeing the lives that I've helped build for my children with my wife. So beyond that, I think another thing that people get from the religious experience is a sense of transcendence. And that's something that I really feel with my kids. You have to be very much in the moment if you're playing with a 2-year-old. Because the rules of the game can change at any given second. And the game can change at any second, even whether or not you're playing a game or not, it can change at any second. So you've got to be very much in the moment. When I'm wrestling on the floor with my kids, I'm not thinking about bills, I'm not thinking about racial injustice, I'm not thinking about the Spurs losing the first round of playoffs, serious weighty issues like that. I'm just trying to have fun with my girls. So again, I really appreciate having the opportunity to come up and talk to you guys about what fatherhood means to me. I really enjoy being a father. My parents are here listening. My dad enjoys being a father. I hope that if someone shows him a new baby, he's able to say, "My son, he's 33." And that's a fun age.